Okay, Pops, just trying to get this all set. All right, hopefully you can hear me on this. I guess I'll test it in a minute. What you're seeing on the computer screen here is my iPhone. It would be similar to yours. Obviously, icons would be different. But what you want to do is go to the App Store on your iPhone. And the first thing you want to do, as soon as this loads up, and this is taking longer than I would have expected. Okay, let's see here. Let's just make sure we're clear. So we'll try one more time. You go to the App Store on your phone. If this doesn't pull up, I can. So again, the first thing you want to do is go to App Store, and what you're going to want to do is search for this app right here at the bottom right called Spypoint. Just search for that. You'll see the icon. It looks similar to the outline of the camera. I'm going to launch that app. Okay. So this is assuming you've already watched videos 1 through 4, and you've done all the camera setup. They're all in the field. They're installed on their trees. Everything's working. Cameras are started, and you're back. Either at home or you're in the field still. If you want to test them. So of course I'm going to log in, and I'll provide you that login information when you're ready. But essentially, what you can do is select. First of all, that top drop down. If you select it, you can see the 4 cameras, right? So link -S1, that's camera 1, that's labeled camera 1, so you want to make sure you're talking to the right camera. Camera 2 is that 2, and so forth, right? So we're going to just pick camera 1. One of the things you can do that's super cool is once it's on the cellular network, you can select, configure these settings. So obviously we want to leave it on photo. Delay basically is saying after it's detected motion and it takes pictures, anywhere from 1 to 3 pictures, how long do you want the motion sensor to be deactivated before it takes another series of pictures? You could have it be instant, could be 10 seconds. I think we probably want to start with, we can either go 10 seconds or 1 minute. So with that, and then multi-shot says, okay, when you detect something, how many pictures do you want it to take? Just 1? Do you want it to take 2 or 3? I think 2 is a good, number to use. So far, I think sensitivity, unless we just start picking up wind movement on trees and stuff like that, I think we put it on high. If it starts acting like it's starting to record a bunch of junk, bugs flying by and stuff like that, I think we can reduce that, but I would start it with high. And again, so with our current setup that you see there under basic, it basically means we're taking pictures. It will take, each time it detects motion, it will take 2 pictures. That's what multi-shot is. And then it will wait a minute, and then it will reset the motion sensor, meaning after a minute, if there's another movement, it'll take 2 more pictures. Again, I recommend either 1 minute or 10 seconds, we can kind of go with that. Cellular, then we can close that. Cellular setup. This is if you wanted to set a specific date and time on when you want the first transfer. I don't know. I've not really played with this to really care, but you could probably, we might want to set it for I guess not each detection, but we might want to have it say, okay, how about 2 times a day send us pictures, right? So what that means is start at, maybe a good example might be 12 noon, right? Do the first transfer, and then it'll do another cycle 12 hours later, I'm assuming. So 2 times a day is probably a good recommended setup for that. So I'll get all of that set up. You probably shouldn't have to mess with this. but it just gives you an idea that we can set you up with the app. Date format, that's day, month, year. I think we ought to go month, day, year. Day, month, year is more military, what I see. Month, day, year. Obviously, temperature of Fahrenheit. Night mode. I just figure let's do optimal. That sounds like it would be appropriate, right? And then, of course, you hit apply changes, and then that would, of course, communicate to the camera and set those changes. And you would essentially repeat that process with every camera here. Now, you probably won't need to do this because I will get it set up. Now, what will be the part that you'll see the most of is you will be triggered by email twice a day. Emails will get sent with pictures. In this particular case, we don't have any, I think I did a test on number 1, but you notice we don't have any photos because we don't have the cameras on. But as the cameras accumulate pictures, using that photos button at the bottom would allow you to see what you're looking at. And that antler technology, or whatever that thing is called, this is where you can start to sort pictures by male bucks, by does, or turkey. So far, that's the recognition that the camera can do. Apparently, they're adding more animals to it. I don't know that it matters for us. And then, of course, other important things is this status button down here for each camera. Of course, you have to walk between each camera. This would give you an indication of how good is the cell signal, how's the battery doing, if it's charging or not, and what's the capacity of the SD card. Those will, and then what I like is it also gives the latitude and longitudinal position of the camera, so you physically know where the location is. I would definitely be paying attention to battery and SD card. If those things get either where battery is low or SD card is near full, you probably want to go physically to the camera, take the SIM card out, download the pictures, and replace it with a blank card. Anyway, that's really about it. It's cool that it will record, temperature and that kind of stuff. But that's really about it for the app. So that's it. Hope it made sense. All right, see ya.